Hey guys, Miss Terrell here. Today we're looking at Algebra 4.6, writing equations of lines. Slope-intercept form. Linear equations are frequently written in slope-intercept form. Now, you all are getting very familiar with that. What is slope-intercept form? Well, we know that that is y equals mx plus b. We also know that m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Example 1. Write the equation of the line that passes through the point 4, 1 and has a slope of 2. Our first step is to label our given information. We know we have a point. We're going to label our point xy with x being 4 and y being 1. We have a slope of 2. We know that the variable that we use for slope is m, so I'm going to write m equals 2. Fill in the formula. Y equals mx plus b. What do we know so far? We know that we have a y value of 1. We know the slope is 2. We know the x value is 4. We don't know the y-intercept, so we're going to leave b as the missing variable. Step 3, we need to solve for b. Looking at our order of operations, we would always multiply before we add. So our next line would be 1 equals 8 plus b. Then we need to get b by itself by subtracting 8 from both sides. We get b is equal to negative 7. Now we're going to write the equation. Y equals, our slope is 2, bring down your x, and then minus 7. Graphing the equation here. Our graph only goes down to negative 5, so you have to estimate going down 2 more points, then rising 2, and a run of 1. Rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1, and we continue, and we have several points to plot the line. The next thing that you do is pull up Desmos and type in this equation. Look on the graph to verify that the point 4, 1 is on the graph, and then you can count the slope of rise 2, run 1 in several places on your graph. Example 2, we're just going to run through another one of these together before you do some practice on your own. Write the equation of a line that has a slope of 2/3 and passes through the point negative 6, 0. Let's go through and label your information. The steps are written up above so you can see them. M is 2/3. Our point, x is negative 6, y is 0. We're writing the equation of the line, so we're going to start with the equation of a line, y equals mx plus b. Plug in all the information that you know. So what do we know? We know a y value is 0. We have our slope is 2/3. We have an x value of negative 6. And we don't know the y-intercept. Working with our fractions here. You multiply straight across. So you would have 2 times negative 6, which would be negative 12, divided by 3 times 1 is 3. Bring down your plus b. Next step, we get 0 equals, what's negative 12 divided by 3? It would be negative 4 plus b. Solving for b, we are going to add 4 to both sides, and we get b is equal to 4. Final step, you actually have to write that equation. So we're going to have y equals 2/3 x plus 4. Graphing, we would have our y-intercept to start with at 4. Then we have a slope of 2/3. So we're going to rise 2 right at the top of the graph and run 3. Let's reverse that. Let's go down 2 and to the left 3 to get those 3 points to make a nice line. There's that crazy wavy pen on the iPad. We also want to use Desmos to help us check our work. So what we're going to do is go to Desmos and you're going to type in this equation right here. Then you can verify that it does in fact go through the point -6,0. If you extend that line, if you click on that point on Desmos, it would show up. You can also verify in Desmos that when you draw your slope triangle, you would have a rise 2 and a run of 3. Guys, for once Louis is being camera shy. He said, "Mom, you are not taking my picture." I said, "Oh, yes, I am." So this is what I got. Now, he also said, "Hey guys, it's time to go to Delta Math and I want you to try the problems titled Writing Equations Given the Point and Slope." There's some more problems in your packet that you can do on paper here to practice that last skill. But before we move on to the next skill, I want to review what is the slope formula. All right, remember, slope is the change in y over the change in x. Writing the exact formula, we would say m, to stand for slope, is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x2 minus x1. For part 2 of this lesson, we are going to find the equation of a line given 2 points. All right, so the first step here is to find the slope, and then we get to follow the same steps that we used in the previous problem. Example 3, write the equation of a line that passes through the points -3, 7, and 1, -1. First, we're going to label x1, y1, and our second point, x2, y2. To find the slope, we are going to, let's come over here and write our slope formula up here at the top of, you have y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Change in y over the change in x. Now, simplifying over here, m, y2 is -1 minus y1 is 7. In the denominator, we're going to put the x values. We have x2 is 1 minus x1 is -3. Simplifying to -1 minus 7 would be -8 divided by 1 minus -3 would be +4. Simplifying again, -8 divided by 4 would be -2. Now we have our slope value. We are going to use the same process as before. We're going to write our equation of a line. So what we don't know is the value of b. You know the slope now. So you're going to fill in that -2. We have a y value and an x value. You actually have 2. So I'm going to choose, I'm just going to come over here and choose the first one. You can choose either one you want. So it says that y is 7. So I have 7 equals -2 times the x value is -3. Bring down your plus b. Now we're going to solve for b. How do we get b by itself? Well, we're first going to multiply -2 times -3. That would give us a 6 plus b. To solve for b, we just need to subtract 6 from both sides, and we have b equals +1. Our final step is to actually write the equation. So you're going to have y equals -2x plus 1. When I graph that, I'm going to go to +1. I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1. Down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. I'm going to reverse that. Go up 2 and left 1, up 2 and left 1. Connect your dots, make a line. You could then verify that your points up here are actually on the line. So 1, -1, is that point on there? 1, -1, there's that point. And -3, 7, yes, that looks like it would also fall on that line. So that's how you check it. You can also type this equation into Desmos and then click on those points and they will tell you those coordinates for you. That's another way to verify your work. We want to use our technology to help us out. All right, example 4. Write the equation line that passes through the points -6, -7, and 3, -4. So what's the first thing you're missing? We have 2 points. We don't know the slope. So let's come in here and label our points. x1, y1, x2, y2. So slope. In the numerator, we are going to subtract the y's. So you have a -4 minus -7. In the denominator, we are going to put the x's. You have 3 minus -6. Let's simplify. -4 minus -7. That would be a +7. -4 plus 7, isn't that a +3? And then 3 minus -6, that would change to a big addition. So 3 plus 6 would give you 9. Simplifying this fraction here, what goes into 3 and 9? We want to divide those both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 1. So our slope is 1/3. Let's write our slope-intercept form. Ooh, I didn't write down my m first. I just went and plugged it right in. All right, now you have an option of points. I'm looking over here. I just happen to say, I'm just going to choose the one that came first right there. It doesn't really matter which one I use, but I want to take that point and I'm going to plug it in. Y is -7. 1/3 of -6 times -6 plus b. Bring down your -7. You're going to multiply straight across. 1 times -6 is -6. 3 times 1, you get a 3. We're going to keep simplifying here. We have -7 is equal to -6 divided by 3. That would give you a -2 plus b. To finish this out, we need to move that -2 to the other side, so I would have to add 2 to both sides. -7 plus 2 is 5. 5 is equal to b. Writing our final equation, y equals, the slope was 1/3 from up here, so 1/3 x plus 5. Now you want to graph, whoops, I should have, this should be a -5 right here. Glad I just noticed that. All right, so we're going to change that to a minus because -7 plus 2 is -5. To graph this, we are going to start on the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept here? -5. So we're going to plot that point on the y-axis, -5. And I'm going to use the slope of rise 1, run 3. Rise 1, run 3. I'm already off the graph. And then over here, I could go down 1 and left 3. I'm also off the graph, but it gives me a nice set of points here. Now, let's see. 3, -4. If I go over 1, 2, 3 and down 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that looks good. And -6, -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's in the ballpark, but what would be a better way to check that would be to type it into Desmos. Type this equation into Desmos and then verify that these 2 points are on your line. So guys, this wraps up the notes. We did 2 examples together. Now you're going to practice these in Delta Math. You also have some on the paper. They're not required at this point, but you do have some if you want to practice there. They're available there. And make sure you use a separate piece of paper to show your work. And you know in Delta Math, it tells you if you're right or wrong. All right, guys, thanks for listening.